Hey, it's Taylor, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I talk a lot about Amazon FBA, but that's not the whole story. So today I want to talk about the other ways that I make money on Amazon that are not Amazon FBA. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, I'm Taylor the Ecom RN. I started selling on Amazon in 2023, but I also started self-publishing on Amazon in 2023 as well. And I want to show you how I was able to combine these two strategies to eventually leave my job as a full-time nurse. So if you're a nurse or a paramedic or an EMT or a firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, anybody who has specialized knowledge, I think you should watch this video because I want to show you how you can turn that knowledge into passive income. So I've been putting out a lot of content on Amazon FBA, mostly because I want to get my students up to speed and give them as much information as I can as they start their Amazon journey. But in this video, I want to talk about the other half of my business because I actually have two brands on Amazon. One of them is just purely FBA, right? It's just everything I talk about selling on Amazon. It's my own brand. They're my own products. The brand is trademarked and the products have been produced by me, designed by me to be unique and to stand out, and they make me good money. But the other brand I actually used to leverage my knowledge from nursing. Anyone who's familiar with the nursing profession or any associated healthcare profession knows that a lot of training goes into it, some schooling, you get a lot of knowledge, and you learn quite a few valuable things along the way. And I wanted to leverage that knowledge to see if I could create some more passive income for myself. And the way I chose to do that was to actually create one brand that allows me to both self-publish on KDP and sell products on Amazon FBA. If you're not familiar with KDP, it's Kindle Direct Publishing. It's Amazon's platform where you can publish your own books and make royalties on Amazon. So very similar to Amazon FBA, where people are on Amazon searching for products to buy. There are also people searching for information on Amazon, usually in the form of books. And these books that you sell on Amazon frequently are actually sold on KDP. On the customer end of things, it doesn't look any different. They're still listed on the Amazon Marketplace, but for the seller, it's a different account. It's a Kindle Direct Publishing account where you create an author name and you upload your work onto KDP, and it's then published as a book. And what's interesting about this method is you actually don't need to produce the books. You just upload a digital file of your book and you select which formats you'd like Amazon to use to provide that book to the customer. So for instance, if the customer wants a paperback version of the book, you can upload a version of your digital document that's formatted for paperback, and Amazon will actually print that book on demand for the customer and ship it to them. Now, there's a lot of pros and cons to both Amazon FBA and Amazon KDP, and I'm not going to be able to get into all the details in this video. I just wanted to sort of introduce this concept because I don't see other people really talking about the unique marriage between these two business models. So to use an analogy, you could think of Amazon FBA as a big snowball that you can roll down a steep hill. So selling physical products on Amazon can be quite explosive. If you pick the right product, you're in the right niche, maybe you are riding a trend, you can make a substantial amount of money because a lot of people on Amazon are looking for physical products. And if you can supply that product to them, you can potentially have thousands and thousands of orders every month. The trick with this is you usually have to pay somebody to make the snowball for you. And you can leverage that to make a pretty big snowball. And then you go and you roll that snowball down the hill and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, going faster and faster, and you can make quite a bit of money that way. However, what if there was a way to take the knowledge that you already have and make a snowball yourself? Now, this snowball is probably going to be quite a bit smaller than the snowball you could have made if a factory made it, but it's your own. And so it can be done at a much smaller scale and for much less investment cost up front. And so you take your little snowball and you start it down the hill, and it might not get as big as quickly, and it's not going to throw off as much profit, but it is making money. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that with the Amazon FBA snowball, the big product snowball, you're going to have to occasionally redirect that snowball. You're going to have to jump in there and give that snowball an extra push, whether that's getting new inventory so that you have stock, whether that's responding to customer messages and keeping up with customer service. You're also going to have logistics to take into consideration on the supply side, right? How to get your snowball from the manufacturer to Amazon so it can roll down the hill. However, with KDP, with your self-published book, you don't need to do any of that. Once the snowball starts rolling, it just keeps rolling and rolling forever without any additional input from you. because Amazon has approved your digital version and because they're the ones responsible for printing it and sending it to the customer, if the customer has any issue with their printed version, Amazon has to deal with that customer service, right? Because Amazon approved your copy. You've done everything that you had to do. If there's any issue in the delivery of that book to the customer, Amazon has to deal with it. So there's no customer service related to your publishing business. There's also no inventory. So you don't need to have a manufacturer make inventory for you so that you can make sure you stay in stock. Remember, it's a digital asset that you uploaded and that's there forever. You never have to create it again. You never have to make multiple versions of it. It's just there. And Amazon can keep using that to print new copies indefinitely. Furthermore, there's no supply side logistics, right? Well, because there's no physical product, there's nothing that you have to ship into Amazon. So you don't have to worry about any of that either. So while Amazon FBA physical products can make you a lot of money quite quickly if you do it right, Amazon KDP and your self-published books can make you money that's very, very passive. It's less money, it's not as explosive, it's slower growth, the hill isn't as steep and the snowball doesn't start out as big, but once it's rolling, it just keeps rolling and you just keep getting paid. So let me tell you a little bit about my strategy behind this and how I actually marry these two different ways of making money on Amazon together in a way that allowed me to quit my job as a nurse full-time and to focus just on my business. So the first thing I did was I thought about, hey, what did I struggle with as a nursing student? What knowledge do I have now that I wish I had as a nursing student, right? And I went on Amazon and I started looking at that kind of material. What was out there, what was already on offer, what was popular, and what was in demand. Again, this is why Amazon is a powerful platform, because you can really get a good estimate of demand in real time by looking at the numbers on Amazon with tools like Helium 10. So once I did that, I realized, hey, look, there's some products here that I think I could make my own version of that I think I could make better. And one of those things was a book. And so I thought, well, gee, why don't I just try to write my own book? I'd never done anything like this before, but I went ahead and I went through the process and I published a book. And what's great about this is it's much less investment up front. I was able to publish my first book for about $350, right? As opposed to the first products I sold, which I needed to spend thousands of dollars to get off the ground. So I had my book idea and I actually went ahead and I created a lead magnet. I created a landing page and I had my book idea and I thought, okay, well, let's see if anybody's really interested in this book before I go through all the hassle of publishing it. Let's see how good of an offer it is, how valuable people find it. And so I just put it up as a free lead magnet. So essentially, if anybody wanted this book, they could get the electronic version for free by joining my email list. And so I started creating this email list and getting feedback from people about what they thought was most valuable about this book. And that went on and I made some tweaks to it. And then I just published the book, right? And I went back to that email list and I said, hey, everyone, it's live. I appreciate your support along the way. If you liked the book, if you like what I'm doing, please go ahead and leave my new published book a review. And the great thing about this is that on Amazon, specifically with books, not with physical products, but with books offered on Amazon KDP, the customer doesn't actually have to buy your book in order to leave a valid review. This is because in the publishing world, this has long been the norm. It's called an advanced reader copy or an ARC list. And people on the ARC list, people who get an advanced reader copy, are able to leave reviews for the book. And so that's exactly what I had done. I had created a list of people who got the pre-publication version of the book, the digital version, and now I just reached back out to them and asked them to leave a review. So that was really helpful because I was able to get some of those first reviews for very cheap. And then furthermore, because this sort of thing is allowed by Amazon's terms of service, there actually is a website called Pubbie.com where you can go and you can upload your book and you can earn points and you can ask other people on Pubbie to review your book. So essentially how it works is you review other people's books and for every review you get so many points and then you can turn around and use your points to request other people review your book. And now you've got a great way to get more reviews for your book. So I've got this book up and it's selling decently well. It's nothing crazy. It's selling, a couple copies a day. And I thought, well, cool. If people like the book, this was a good test case. Let me take the information that's in the book and let's see what else I can do with that information, because I already basically did all the legwork. I already compiled all the information, formatted it and whatnot. So what else can I do with it? And that's when I realized that there's a big space on Amazon for educational products, specifically flashcards. And so I went on there and I realized, wow, I could take this information that's in the book and essentially convert it into a flashcard format. And what's great about this is now I was making that initial investment into producing the physical product while already having a clear understanding of the demand that I was likely to receive for that product. And so I felt much more confident. I didn't feel like I was taking on as much risk because I already had the proof of demand. And so I turned around, I made it into a set of flashcards and I listed that on Amazon. And now that has gone on to be one of my best selling products. I've actually gone on to do this 3 separate times, and I went on to publish multiple books. Not every book ended up being able to be converted into flashcards, but several were, and this combination has proved to be a really powerful tool for me and allowed me to create enough income that I could actually stop being a nurse full time. So what's interesting about this is my brand name is actually my author name for my KDP account and my brand registered name for my brand on Amazon. So I can advertise between the two. I can get customers to move back and forth between those two things pretty seamlessly. Because again, on the customer end on Amazon, they're not two separate stores. It's not like I'm on two separate platforms. It's all offered on Amazon's platform. So overall, not only have those physical products, the flashcards that I made up about 50% of my Amazon FBA revenue, but the KDP side, the self-publishing side, the royalties that I get from my books have actually gone on to make me over $30,000 in royalties in the time that I've been publishing. Now, to put this in perspective, I've done over $300,000 in revenue on Amazon, and I've only done $30,000 in royalties on KDP. So you can see it's only about 10%. However, the real beauty of it is how passive it is. It takes almost no time. I spend basically maybe 30 minutes a week just double checking the few small ads that I have running for my books. But other than that, there's no inventory to manage. There's no customer service to deal with. I just get a royalty check. If that sounds interesting, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know, because I'm planning to start a series of videos about this particular business strategy, this pairing of KDP and Amazon. If you already have an idea or think you're onto this already and you want to join my free school community to talk about it more, you can do that too. The link is in the description. But either way, I'll see you in the next video.